Hello and welcome to this video where we will be discussing Chris Rock's latest comedy special, Selective Outrage. In this special, Rock tries to extrapolate a larger argument about cancel culture out of a specific situation involving Will Smith slapping him on live TV while presenting at the Oscars. Rock argues that Smith epitomizes the wokeness disease currently afflicting America, wherein everyone practices selective outrage, taking aim at whomever it is fashionable to dislike while ignoring inconvenient truths about other people. However, in this video, we will discuss the flaws in Rock's argument and why it falls short in addressing cancel culture. Rock's argument relies heavily on the idea of selective outrage, where people only take issue with certain issues that fit their narrative or agenda while ignoring other uncomfortable truths. Rock cites the example of R. Kelly and Michael Jackson, who committed the same crime, but people only cancelled Kelly. However, other writers have pointed out that the first example requires its own selective ignorance. Kelly retains plenty of outspoken fans. Even if Kelly were a good example of an unfairly deplatformed artist, his situation does not translate well to Rock's. Kelly sexually abused minors. Rock made a joke in poor taste about Smith's wife. Rock's perspective. To be fair, Rock does try to differentiate his perspective from the usual right-wing talking points. He emphasizes the problem of selectivity more so than outrage, trying to make his special cohere around the ridiculousness of hypocrisy, rather than the plight of censorship. Some of his better jokes hit that note precisely, as when he makes fun of Lululemon for saying it's anti-hate if they sell $100 yoga pants. Rock quips, "They hate the poor." However, it remains unconvincing that Rock's real problem with Smith is his hypocrisy. Rock's problem with Smith is that he slapped him on live TV. Rock's artistic quandary. Rock made a name for himself as a voice of the black middle class, and he was at his sharpest and most celebrated when he spoke frankly about the imperfect, divided world he came up in. However, now that he's been rich and famous for decades, the insularity of his wealth has cost him legitimacy as a participant in and observer of the culture. Because he's a smart guy, Rock knows he's too rich to be relatable, so he waters down the specifics of his actual life until they resemble something normal people can rally behind. He presents getting slapped at the Oscars by Will Smith as falling victim to selective outrage because the latter seems class neutral. It's a savvy tactic, but it's also dishonest. In conclusion, Rock's personal grievance with Smith is legitimate, but by trying to mash it into the shape of a cultural cautionary tale, he does himself and his comedy a disservice. It might be true that Smith's outburst is indicative of a culture in which some celebrities increasingly believe they ought to be immune from critique. It might also be true that Smith's outburst was the result of a pent-up, years-long Oscars feud between these two. But blaming Smith's behavior on the culture writ large is unspecific and unproductive. Rock's argument highlights his class anxiety, and while it is fair to be upset about what happened, it's not a valid argument against cancel culture. Cancel culture is a complex issue that deserves a nuanced discussion, and Rock's selective outrage argument falls short in addressing it. We hope you found this video informative and thought-provoking. Thank you for watching.